Focus now, particularly on Wall Street, but the world on the crypto space. It continues to expand and is attracting a whole lot of new players, from Wall Street's biggest firms, who were once, of course, doubters, to Eric and Donald Trump Jr., whose company's American Bitcoin has quickly become a force. Joining me now, American Bitcoin co-founder and chief strategy officer and Trump Organization Executive Vice President Eric Trump. Eric, I just want to start, because one of the things you said in this New York Post article that leaps out at everyone is that America's financial future, that crypto is America's financial future. And I'm curious when you had this epiphany, because a lot of people have had the same epiphany along the way.
Yeah. Well, Charles, I had the epiphany. I think you saw it, and you probably reported on it better than anybody when I got debanked by everyone. I mean, Capital One sent me a letter in the middle of the night stripping 300 bank accounts from, golf courses and hotels, our properties as well as anyway, for doing absolutely nothing wrong. And then all of a sudden I started meeting people in the crypto space, and I realized how brilliant they were. I realized how antiquated modern finance is. Laura and I went out to buy a house, right? When we got financing, because the rates under my father were like 2.1%. It took me 120 days to get a mortgage from a bank that I had banked with literally for 25 years, right? Because they had to go through Know Your Customer. I'm sitting there saying, this is crazy. Every single week, I'm chasing a swift wire transfer, payment that's coming into one of the hotels or leaving one of the hotels. And if you don't send it by 4 o'clock on a Friday, it's not getting there until like Monday afternoon. And you're sitting there saying, why can I send hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin overseas instantly or receive it instantly with virtually no fees? Bitcoin's the way of the future. American Bitcoin, which is the company that I founded, I'm very, very proud of. I think it's going to be one of the great Bitcoin companies anywhere in the world. And clearly, there's no doubt in my mind, cryptocurrency is going to replace traditional finance, TradFi, and it's happening so fast. I mean, cryptocurrency is literally outpacing, the growth of the internet, in the 90s, Charles. And I've never been so clear about something. I've never been able to see something so clearly in my life, and it's been a lot of fun to be part of this.
Early on, folks who hit me to it, even though I didn't make the move quick enough, all pointed to the dollar, right? You talk about the financial system. That part of it, of course, the weaponization of the banking system against its own citizens is one thing. When we took Russia off the SWIFT network, that changed a whole lot of things. There's been an abuse of the system, but a lot of focus is on the dollar. Obviously, it's in trouble. I guess the distinction is that all governments seem to have abused themselves, their debts, financial shenanigans. But it feels like that also is a crucial part of why crypto is coming to the rescue.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of stable coins, 100%. I mean, in terms of Bitcoin is digital gold, just as better, right? I mean, There's a limited supply. Charles, if gold ever goes to 10,000 bucks an ounce, you and I will bust down the walls of the building you're in right now. We'll find gold in that concrete, right? You can always find more supply if the price goes up. And with Bitcoin, there will never be 21 million and one Bitcoin. There will be 21 million. So it's finite. Every family in the world wants it. Every Fortune 500 company is starting to custody it. So it's gold, but you can actually transport it. How do you cash out gold? You take it down to the local pawn shop and, they melt it down. It's not practical. I mean, at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night while having, dinner with your wife, you can sell it. It's 24 hours. It has immediate liquidity. It's one of the greatest assets of our time. In terms of saving the dollar, there's no question. But in terms of, stable coins is saving the dollar. Listen, I'm the first one to bash our system because I've been on the receiving end of it, but we are the best financial system anywhere in the world. Nobody wants to be on the euro. No one wants to be on any of the Asian currencies. No one wants to be on any of the South American currencies. Guess what everybody in the world wants? They want the U.S. dollar because we've got the reserve currency of the world. Imagine if you were living in a country in Africa or in South America, right, and you have 1,000% inflation a year. The second you get your paycheck, congratulations, it's gone. You may as well burn that money. Now, all of a sudden, what you can do is you can immediately transfer into, call it USD1, which is our stable coin, and you can be pegged exactly 1-to-1 with the US dollar on US Treasury. So you have got that security blanket. So when I always say that I think cryptocurrency saves the dollar and make sure it's a reserve currency indefinitely, it's the fact that we're going to attract trillions of dollars from all over the world and people who do not trust their governments, do not trust their financial systems, do not trust their banks, and want to hold U.S. denominated currency, which is what stablecoins do so well. So Bitcoin is the digital gold. I think it's the greatest asset of our time, going up 70% a year, year over year. And I think at American Bitcoin, we do it better than anybody. We're mining it at 50-cent dollar to obviously the cost of Bitcoin, which is about 114,000 bucks right now. But on the stablecoin side, I really do believe it ensures that the U.S. dollar remains the reserve currency of the world.
So you made headlines recently with a call, Bitcoin surpassing 1 million. Everyone gets giddy and excited about that, but I've seen targets much higher. So the question is, how soon and what exactly will it take to get it there?
Well, listen, I mean, the floodgates are opening, right? For the first time, Schwab is custodying, Bitcoin. Fidelity is custodying Bitcoin. I'll never forget. I signed into a Fidelity account not too long ago. The first thing that pops up is this little icon. Would you like to create a Fidelity digital asset wallet? And I said yes. I literally clicked yes on it, and all of a sudden you could buy Bitcoin on there. You look at what Chase is doing. You look at what all the major banks are doing. Right? I mean, all of a sudden you're no longer trying to do, Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin using a ledger and using DeFi. You can literally buy it through spot ETFs for the first time, and every bank is custodying it. I mean, we are on the 1 yard line of cryptocurrency, and we've got another whole field to run, as explosive as it's been. So I do think it hits $1 million eventually. I've never been more bullish on anything in my life. And listen, Charles, I was telling everybody to buy it when it was at 40,000, and here we sit at 115,000. Right. I'm more bullish on it today because of the legislation in this country, and because of how widely adopted it's been. And I can tell you, I talk to the biggest companies, the biggest families in the world, and every single one of them is racing to buy Bitcoin. So, American Bitcoin, I'm incredibly proud of, and I think it's gonna be one of the great companies in the country, in my opinion.
Eric, you've got a new book coming out soon, Under Siege: My Family's Fight to Save Our Nation. By the way, I think the title is an understatement, to be quite frank with you. But on one hand, you just mentioned the government, your father's administration, on the Genius Act, all the things that they've done to speed up, to bring to fruition the potential that was always there for crypto, but was always in question, no longer in question. But it sounds like more than just taking the mantle with respect to Bitcoin and stablecoin and those things. Maybe the family's prepared to also grab the baton from your father. Are you positioning for that as well?
I'm not, Charles. Listen, you and I know each other very well. I've developed a good voice, I think, in the political sphere because I didn't have a choice. Our family, we didn't have anybody that supported us. We went on that stage and we fought like hell because we love this country. We love the American flag. Our Constitution was under siege. Our First Amendment was under siege. They tried to destroy us. It's the whole point of the book, right? Of Under Siege. They tried to destroy my father. They tried to destroy our family. They tried to destroy the movement. I became the most subpoenaed person in American history. They turned off our voice, the gag orders, the bans from Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, the Russia hoax, taking us off the ballots in every single state, raiding Mar-a-Lago. I mean, I could go on and on, deplatforming us, debanking us, which is how I got into crypto in the first place. They lay siege to us. And then they tried to kill my father once, and then they tried to kill him again at the golf course in Florida. Right. Then they killed our friend Charlie. They've put our movement under siege. And we won. Despite all of it, we won. And I'm incredibly proud of that fight, and I'm incredibly proud of the voice I had during that fight, and I'm incredibly proud of my father, who has made transformational change. And we still live in the greatest country in the world.
We do. And Eric, I got to tell you, I've watched this whole thing. I've watched you guys fight from the first time all the way through, and it's been absolutely remarkable. Congratulations with all these